Camping is one of my favorite things. The quiet mornings, the trail days, the campfire nights. But let's be honest, keeping up with everything you need for a trip can get overwhelming fast. Between gear, meals, hikes, reservations, and all the little details, it's easy to forget something important, especially if you're heading off grid where you can't just look it up later. That's exactly why I built the Outdoor Adventure Planner. It's beginner friendly, easy to use, and works perfectly with a free Notion account. In this walkthrough, I'll show you how it helps you organize your trips, track hikes, manage expenses, and keep your packing list dialed in so you can focus on the part you actually love, being outside. So this is your main dashboard. This is the heart of the template. Up top, you'll see trip tools. These buttons make setup fast. You can start a new trip, add something that you want to pack for an existing trip, add an expense to an existing trip, add a destination or activity, and then you can also mark a national park or estate as visited. And those, when you do that, they roll up into these travel stats so you can see how many states or national parks you have visited. These tools all connect automatically to your databases, so everything stays organized without any manual linking on your part. Next, you'll see your current and upcoming adventures. Each card shows your trip date, the countdown to your trip starting, such as on this upcoming trip right here. You've got 1 day till you leave. And whether it's an active, upcoming, or in the planning stage trip. The status buttons are important when you set up a trip because they control where each trip appears on your dashboard here. When you mark a trip as completed, it moves to your past adventures down at the bottom automatically. And here the travel calendar gives you kind of a visual timeline of your year. Every trip appears based on its start and end dates if you put those in so that you can avoid overlap and plan ahead easily. Below that is your bucket list area. It's your space to dream big. You can add destinations, hikes, or parks you want to visit someday in this space because you can open these pages and add all the details, or you can just do a simple bucket list here to plan more about later. The travel journal is where your completed trips land once you mark a trip complete. It's a fun way to look back at where you've been or look up notes if you plan to go back to the same place in the future. Starting a new trip. So you click the Start a New Trip button here. It'll take just a minute to load. Now, you can change the cover image or upload a picture you've taken if you've visited here before. But here's what you can do when you open a new trip. So go ahead and name your trip. We'll call this Glacier. And this is where you put in your trip details. You can put in the main destination, your start and end dates. So we're going to take this trip starting July 27th. We'll end on the 31st. And then if you have a budget, you can place that here. And here are the status call outs that I was referring to earlier that help identify on the main trip's dashboard where your trip lands. There is also, as you input your expenses throughout your trip or at the end of your trip, however you do it, they will all roll up here and calculate into the total amount you spent on your trip. And there is a checkbox when you take a hike, and after you finish the hike, you check that box, and then it calculates up here how many hikes you took on that particular trip. Here's just some helpful things to remember before you go. Here's what you can do down here. In the destinations and activities area, you can add every place that's related to your trip. And then you can filter your views by, let's say you visit this scenic overlook and it is the highlight of your trip. You can note that here. And campsites, this has all of your information for a campsite. It's got if a reservation is needed, if you've confirmed it, if you've got the confirmation number, all of that goes here. And if you are on a hiking trail, you can come back later and log the elevation gain, the trail length, the estimated completion time, the trail difficulty, and if you check that it's a hike, it automatically rolls up to, I'll show you, hike, and is hike. So now up here at the top of our trip, it shows that we have taken one hike on this trip. And the packing buttons are set up to automatically fill once you press a button. And I tried to think about the most common things that you'll pack, whether it's for an RV trip, a backpacking trip, if you travel with your dog, there's a dog list. So let me show you how this works. So we'll pack, no matter whether you're taking a backpacking trip or an RV trip, you're going to want these things, like your vehicle registration. Maybe you want an extra set of keys. However, if you don't want a certain one of these things, you can just come over here, click the checkbox to the left, and hit the trash can. Going back up to expenses, this is where you track what you spend throughout the trip. And again, you can filter by view. There's also a meal planner where you can plan your meals out for the trip, list ingredients you need to go buy, the recipe, any notes you have. And then down below all of that is kind of a favorite moments, trip reflections area. So you can add anything you want in this space, make it yours. And then if you plan to return or you're talking to a friend about it, you have your lessons learned for next time that you can share, or, oh, you have to go see this place. That all lives here. And then below that is a setup and tear down checklist for when you arrive to your campsite or pack up. This helps you keep your campsite routine smooth so that you never leave something behind or leave something plugged in when you leave. So if you want to mark off that you have visited a new national park, so before we do that, you can see here that there are 17 showing as visited. So we'll open the National Park database and let's say that we visited this one. We'll check it off. Close this, and there you go. It added one. And that is the Outdoor Adventure Planner, your digital base camp for every camping journey. It keeps your trips organized, your gear list ready, and your memories preserved so you can spend less time planning and more time exploring. You can grab the template using the link in the description. It'll take you straight to my shop where you can duplicate it to your free Notion account. Thanks for watching, safe travels, and happy adventuring.